Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. It is Friday, which means it's time for Chibi Friday, and that is just where I draw a chibi on Fridays because I love drawing chibis, so it's a really fun way to end the week. And last week I finished up my chibi Kiki. Kiki was is my pet cat, and so I have a new one to start this week, and it's going to be another pet portrait, pet caricature. This time it's going to be a birthday present for one of my friends. He asked me to draw his pet cat, who has a kind of similar naming style to my pet cat. His cat's name is Lulu, so we're going to be chibifying Lulu the cat today. So I've got like my basic stuff to start with, which is a piece of square Bristol paper, and I have already, the pad of paper that I've been using up is not cut in a square. It's like slightly angled and it drives me crazy, so I just finished trimming this into a square. And then I've got my new favorite Doubutsu no Mori Animal Crossing mechanical pencil that I got on my trip to Japan earlier this year, and it's got the falling stars, and if you spin this then you can watch them falling, so that's super cute. It's a 0.3 millimeter, no, 0.5 millimeter with HB lead in it. Okay, so since the photo reference I'm working from is not my photo, I don't feel comfortable putting it up on the screen, so I'm working from a photo reference, but I don't have it on screen for that reason, just so you know. I'm just going to start with the circle for the head. My chibis, the head is at least as big as the whole body put together, so at least a 1-to-1 ratio, but a lot of times I go maybe a 2-to-1 ratio. And yeah, it'll probably be more like 1.5 or something like that. And this pose that Lulu is in the reference picture is fairly simple. She's just sitting down with one side of her is kind of leaning off to the side. Very relaxed looking, just sitting there waiting for something fun to happen. Very cute. She's actually a lot, she looks a lot like Kiki in her overall size and shape. Just from this reference photo. I have not gotten to meet her in person, but in this photo she looks just like Kiki. There's a different, she's got a calico patterning on her fur, but she even seems to have the same color eyes as Kiki. It was super light, like a jade green. Okay. I'm kind of exaggerating the toes. I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I'm going to run with it because they're just, the kitty toes are just so cute. The little mittens, and they're hiding little knives inside of them. They've got their little hidden weapons inside. Okay, and I know you can't really see it, huh? Describing it to you, but it's so far away it doesn't look like anything yet. So there's her little feetsies. The front feetsies. One of them is actually ending up bigger than the other, so let me widen this other leg so that they're the same size. Or about the same size. Okay, now for the back leg, we got the big fluffy, the knee is coming out, but you can see the tip of the foot sticking out as well. So her toes on that side. On this side, since she's sort of leaning on her, so she's not just sitting properly with front legs and then back legs folded underneath. It's like she's sort of sitting on the side of her back legs like this. I don't know if illustrating that with my hand was helpful at all, but what I'm getting at is, in this picture, I'm guessing that I'm seeing her foot right around here, but there's so much fluffy fur that I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to put fluffy fur and have her sitting on her side here. So you can only see one back foot. There, got the toes defined as well. Okay, and then you can see how her body's coming out from the side. Let me see if this is in focus down here. I know, it's so tiny. When I'm working on the chibis, it's so small. I mean, it is good when I do have my reference images up, when I'm working from my own reference. And it's taking up this space where I'm holding my hand, and it's actually nice that I can still have this much room, but when this is the only thing, I'm like, it's kind of small. Whatever, it'll be fine. Okay, so the way she's angled, the front of the chest is like right around here, and then this is actually, you can see all the way up to her shoulder, pretty much. And then her back is coming all the way down like this, and then a little indentation where her back becomes her leg. And then she's got some little fluffies sticking up on the back. And because of the way her fur patterning is, plus the way the light is hitting her from, so this is left on from the right side, and then there's black fur right here, you can't really see what's going on. Like where this arm is still visible or anything, because it's black fur in shadow. So I'm just gonna leave that like that. I'm gonna do a little bit of indications of the fluffy fur on her chest. And like that. Yay! So I think that's good for her body. I'm just adding a little bit of indications of her fluffy legs. Her fur is kind of sticking out this way. Now let's move on to the head. She's, even though her body is kind of sideways looking, her head is pretty straight on in the picture. So here is a circle to represent her muzzle, where her nose and her mouth and her little kitty cheeks are. I'm going to put a line in it to indicate where the middle is and where I want the nose to be. Okay, and then her eyes. Since it's a chibi, I mean, cats are already pretty chibi proportions. Maybe not the big head, but as far as the placement of the eyes and the nose and the size of the eyes compared to the nose and such is actually quite chibi already, but I'm going to still accent that by moving nose and eyes close together, making the eyes super big. I won't draw the eyes in yet though. I'm going to draw the rest of the head first. Okay, so she's got a kind of a, I think it's mostly the fur pattern makes it look like she's got a bit of a square jaw. Because there's white fur and then a stripe of black comes right across like this. But that helps because with the chibis, you don't have a head that merges into a neck like with a cat. It just smoothly merges. With chibi, the head is really big and it comes down. It's not natural at all. Yeah, she's actually almost looking like a dog, so like right now, but not to worry. Once we add the ears and the other features, she will look very cat-like. Okay. Now I want to mark the top of the head being right here, and her ears. So let's see. Let's make them about that tall. Just gonna go ahead and make them about that tall. And there's little bumps. It's even though with really super simplified drawings of cats or other animals, it's usually just like a sort of upside down V and then, oh, there's an ear like attaching to the head. But there's actually some little bumps as the ear attaches. It's not a straight line. And I like to capture that. I feel like that makes my chibis unusual and different. Not just oversimplifications. They are simplified, but they still have a touch of realistic anatomy to them. Plus, especially when I'm doing a pet portrait, I think it's important to get those little nuances because then that's how you can recognize, oh, that's this specific person. So this specific pet. It's not just a cat, it's Lulu, or it's Kiki. I'm having the same sort of issue with seeing the details on this side because her ear is mostly black, though it looks like a little pink, actually a lot like Kiki. It's got light parts and dark parts on the ear, but because this ear is more in shadow than this ear, it's kind of hard to see what's going on with it. So just gonna do my best. I think I gotta, oh right, this one doesn't have an eraser, I forgot. Let me get an eraser real quick, because I don't want to accidentally ink this. I have a line coming in here, but it's actually just that the ear is curved. It's not like a layering. So I don't want to confuse myself with that. I just want it to be a curved line. There. I'm going to take a drink of my mineral water real quick. I just realized I'm looking at my, what is this page called? Anyway, it says there's different layouts I can choose on Twitch for monitoring what's going on with my stream. I'm going to think about that later. Oh, Exie! Hello! Oh, focus the camera. Dang it, it did it again. I just did that earlier. Thank you for letting me know, Nozzle. I didn't let it go on forever. Yay, how are you? We made it to the end of the week. Hooray! Hope you're hanging in there. I know there's been some really stressful stuff for you, so I hope that it's going your way. Or that at least you're getting some relief or some rest. Let's see. I think this might be good. I see a little bit of fur here, and then right in the middle. And that happens a lot with both cats and dogs. Right in the middle of the head, there's an especially prominent line in the fur. Okay, so I'm ready to go. I'm done with this outside part. Let's put the eyes, nose, and mouth in here. Oh, good. Exie says, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. How about you? I hope all is fine. Oh, I'm good too. It's Friday. I'm feeling the week. I'm like, thank goodness that it's Friday because I'm feeling really tired. I've been doing pretty good all week, but I'm looking forward to, it's Friday, so it means movie night, and we're going to be watching the Super Mario Brothers movie. So I hope that that's good. It looks really good from the previews. So I have high hopes. And the fact that Nintendo was so highly involved in it, that's a good sign to me. It's like, I don't want any more movies where it's like, yeah, it's going to be awesome, and it's just like another Hollywood movie, and it's not the thing that I wanted to see. Like, I want to see a video game movie. So, but the trailers and stuff look good, so I don't have any worries. Actually, I feel like it's going to be good. Okay, I'm going to exaggerate the bigness of her pupils, because that makes Chibi's cute too. Exaggerate the size of the eye, but also the pupil size. And it still is a bit of a point to show that it's the kitty eye, which goes into the slit style pupil. Okay, I feel like this pupil's a little bit sideways, so hopefully that's good. Maybe what's happening is this eye is farther down than the other eye. Is that it? I'm gonna get a ruler real quick and check. Okay. Maybe I'll even do a little line, and then I'm gonna do another line underneath, very lightly. And then just measure the distance between these two lines to see. So, like 3 under the 8 mark. And, okay, good. Raising it up does seem to have been what I needed to do. Because I raised it up by like 1 millimeter, and then that seemed like perfect. Okay, good. Nosy. Her nosy. It's kind of hard to see because, again, it's like all, her nose is all black. But then some of her little cat cheeks are white and brown. So you can see some stuff, but then the nose is like obscured in darkness because then it goes into shadow. But I will just use my pre-existing knowledge of what cat noses are generally shaped like to help me give her a nose. I wonder if I want to make that bigger. Yeah. I'm going to make her nose bigger, and I'm going to put it up higher too. I feel like since this is such a simple pose, it's going to take less time than my previous chibis that I've been doing. We'll see though. I'll say that, and then it's going to take like longer for some reason. We'll see. Okay. And there's usually nostrils come in the sides, and then there's usually a cleft in the bottom part of the nose. Yeah, that's pretty good. It looks kind of like a mushroom, like from the side. If you take a button mushroom and cut it in half, that's kind of what a cat nose looks like. Okay, and then there's this line. She has a fairly distinct line. Not all cats do, but she has a fairly distinct line separating the two sides of her mouth into cheeks. And then we'll do her cute kitty cheeks. Oh yes, and it instantly becomes an adorable smile. Oh, so cute. So cute. And then the little chin. I always love this on kitties. They always have this little chin like this. I wonder if I should make it bigger. Make the chin bigger. I'm going to erase my guidelines so that hopefully that will help me decide. Okay. Let me sweep this eraser stuff into the trash can. But I got it all. There's still quite a bit left. There we go. Aww, that is so sweet. Exit says, no matter how long it will take, the result will be as great as always. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope that my friend likes it just as much. That he feels just as happy about this. Oh, Satuita is here too. Hello. How's it going? You've been able to relax since you got home? So even though I said I was going to make Lulu's face kind of square because of the way her fur makes it look square, now that I've got the rest of her features in, it's looking like a little bit too much, so I'm going to round it a little bit more. Okay, there we go. And now get her cute kitty chin in here. Ah, that's good. Cute kitty. Yep, it's... I don't think you ever met him. That is one of my friends. Kitty Lulu. Is this in focus? It's hard to tell when it's... There, now it is. Here's how it's coming along so far. You can't see her tail. I don't know if she just has a bobtail or if it's just hanging out behind her and you can't see it in the reference picture, but here's how she's coming along so far. I wonder if maybe I should lower the nose actually after I went through all the trouble to raise it up, because she's looking kind of like a dog, but I don't know. Let's see. I think I need to clean up some of these lines because I'm feeling a little distracted by some of these unnecessary guidelines now. Well, maybe she'll end up looking just as cat-like as she needs to once I put the color on. Nice and peaceful. Yeah. It's so nice today here. The sun came out for a little bit, but as you know, I think I hate the sun, so I'm very happy that it went away. Well, I'm happy that the sun doesn't go away. I'm happy that the clouds came back. And I'm looking outside and it's great. It's still like a bit light. It's actually, it's like perfect running weather because it's cool and cloudy, but it's still bright. So it's not like it's hard to run or hard to see where you're going. Okay. There, I'm feeling better. Feeling better about it. I think maybe that's what I need to do. Okay. Instead of moving the whole nose down, I'm going to try moving the main part of her mouth down. Maybe this will be too much, but I think that might help with getting her to look like a kitty instead of a dog. There. Because, yeah, I guess the space, so I'm looking more carefully, and it is hard to tell because, again, her nose is like black fur, a black nose, like the leathery part of her nose is black too, and it's in shadow, so it's almost impossible to see what's going on, but it does seem like that line that between where her mouth starts and between the bottom of the nose is the same length, the same height as from the bottom of the nose to the top of the nose, so I'll use that as a guide. And then the curve of the mouth seems to end similar to a human mouth, where the corner is right under the middle of the pupil. So that's what I'm aiming for. I bet another thing making it look like a dog is that I've got these lines right here that look like a wrinkly bulldog nose, so maybe once those are gone, I'll feel better about it too. Ah, yeah. Okay. Anybody have any fun plans for this weekend? I don't think I have any special plans, but I haven't looked in my calendar. And if I don't look at my calendar, then I will forget that I had stuff planned. Now I'm kind of interested, but I kind of hope that there's not anything, because it feels like I always have something, and sometimes I just want to relax and like play Animal Crossing for 10 hours and call it a day. Okay, I'm looking at, I think what's happening is I'm making it too literal of a chin here. The fur goes off onto the sides, not directly up into the corners of the mouth. Ooh, that's better. That's better. Cute little meow meow. She's a cute little meow meow. Okay. Maybe if I end this at the same spot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. Alright. No, I won't do it with ink. I'm thinking about these little small details, like where the whiskers come out, there's always a little row of like dots where the whiskers are coming out. And in this reference photo, you can see a slight line indicating that, but it's very slight, so I think I'll use marker or colored pencil to indicate it and not ink, which is a very sharp contrast. So now I'm just looking over the whole reference photo and looking for anything else that I want to indicate with ink. Yeah. It's nice to do that. Satoshi says, yeah, sometimes I do take a day off from everything and forget about it till tomorrow. I've been working towards that being my weekend. I'm not quite there yet, but to be able to stay focused on the weekdays and get work done and be productive, and then on the weekends, recharge. No thinking about stuff, just doing what I feel like, even if that's nothing at all. But then again, there are always like fun stuff to go to, like a concert or whatever, so then I'm like, I want to go to this fun thing, but I kind of just want to not do anything. Okay, I'm going to take another drink of water before I move on, I think, to inking. I think I'm ready. Guess I'll do one more look. But yeah, I think anything that I don't ink but that needs to be dark is the sort of thing that I can also make dark using markers, such as the fur pattern, because she's calico, so like on her chest is white and a little bit on this side of her mouth. And then the rest, or like, oh, she's got white mittens on her paws, but then the rest is like tan and then like black. Most of her face is black with a tan stripe. And there's a tan patch here, so it can just be done with markers even if I don't get it with ink. So get my pen rack out. Boop. Yay! I like to retract my mechanical pencil tips to protect the lead. Then it comes out, and then you hold down on it, and then you can push it back in. Okay, let's ink. So, let's see, what I usually do, I think, is, do I want to use the 08 though, or do I want to go up to the graphic 1, which is really thick? I might want to. I don't think I was using, but maybe it was. Whatever, I'm just going to do it. I am going to use the graphic 1 for the big outline around the outside. And that's what I'll start with. Okay, we'll see you next week. Hopefully have sweet dreams, and I hope you sleep well. Thank you for joining me. Exie is heading out. It's always super late where Exie is, so I'm always impressed that Exie is here, because I'm like, dang, you're just so late. You're welcome. Bye. And this is just on the outside. not doing any inside lines. It's like an outline, like a sticker. I always love this effect when I'm doing just a character with no environment. There. Outline done. Now let's go to a 5. So we'll go 2 steps down. Although the graphic 1 and then the Micron 08 isn't necessarily meant to be the next step from each other, but then again it goes from 1, 2, 3 to 5 to 8, so it sort of does follow in line. Because I think that 1 means 1 millimeter. Could be wrong. I'm not sure. Not 1 millimeter. No, yes, 1 millimeter. It must be 1 millimeter. Oh, there's that lovely cow. I mean, Exie is probably gone by now. What's this one called? Something dance. The dancing cow. I love those little funny things. One of these days I want to design some emotes for my subscribers. That's a whole nother project though. It's not high on my list because I have so many other projects, but someday. I'm just doing the most basic ink work. I'm going to erase the graphite and then I will go in and do more detailed stuff. And I'm purposefully leaving some gaps between lines and stuff because that really adds to the feeling of fur. So when it's a really super solid line, it looks kind of mechanical or, what's the word? There's a word for it. Yeah, you can tell it's Friday because my vocabulary is inaccessible. I'm out of RAM. My brain is out of RAM. What is the word? Not automated. Artificial. It looks artificial. Like it's too smooth to be real, to be natural. So like, I guess I'll show what I'm talking about. Like where this ear is, here and here. Here. I mean, it also makes it easier because you don't have to worry about making the lines match up perfectly from stroke to stroke. But with something like a furry animal, then it just adds to their appearance or the visual interpretation of their appearance. Sounds like, hopefully it's not audible, but it sounds like my computer is working a little harder than usual to stay cool. It is fairly warm down here, even though it's a relatively cool day. Okay, now time to erase. I'm going to get a bigger eraser than this little tiny one that I already had out. Oh wait, I know, but I've got a bunch of, I have my ironing board because I was ironing, and then I've got like all my sheets on top of it, and I'm blocking my favorite eraser. So I'm just gonna use this eraser. This one that I Frankenstein together from different eraser parts. And now it's like the best because has a nice grippy, and it's not too loose of a grippy, and yep, and it's not broken, because the other one, this thing completely broke off, so it was unusable. Oh, what movie am I watching tonight? I'm watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I hope that it's good. It seems like it's gonna be good. All the trailers look really good, so I'm expecting good things. And it was being advertised all over Japan, too. Of course, the place I remember seeing the ads the most was at Universal Studios, because they have Nintendo Land and everything. Or whatever it's called. I call it Nintendo Land, I think, because I'm pretty sure there was a game called Nintendo Land, and I loved that game. It was really fun. I think it had, like, Mii's in it and stuff. But it's basically, even if that's not the official name, that's the name for me. It's Nintendo Land. We didn't get to actually go in, because it was via, not raffle, it was via lottery, whether you were able to get in or not. And we didn't get picked, so we didn't get to go in. That was the thing I was looking forward to most. Oh well. Maybe someday in the future it won't be quite so popular and we'll be able to get in. Or try the Universal Studios Hollywood or something. But Universal Studios Japan is pretty cool because they have some anime, what would you call it? Events? They were like participatory events, or like, experiences maybe you'd call it. Woo! I whacked this. I'm trying to get the eraser shavings off, but I whacked my pens instead. Or, not instead, but at the same time. You haven't seen it yet either. I don't remember how we're watching it. I think it's streaming somewhere though. I wonder where we're watching it. It's definitely been advertised on our Google Chromecast menu thing. Whenever you get in, then it's like, you can watch this, and I don't pay attention to what the service is that it's on. But it's definitely streaming. So maybe you could watch it. I'll let you know if it's good. But I won't say more than that because I like people to be able to make their own opinion about it, so not just about that movie, but about things like that. Let's see. Still got a little over 20 minutes, and we're doing really well. I might even be able to start some coloring at this rate, but I won't. I also won't rush, because there's still more inking to do. So, like, we can definitely just go ahead and ink the pupils, because pupils are just holes. So they're not a color, they're just like the light goes in and there's no light. No light escapes pupils, so, or at least not enough that they reflect light. Like everything else has color because it reflects light. But pupils are designed to suck in the light. This is how we see, so let's go ahead and ink in the pupils black. I'll do another layer. Just make sure it's nice and even. So I did that here, but I didn't quite get all of the edges. So I'll do it again on this side. Alright, that's good enough. That's good enough. Okay, done with that. 01 graphic again. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes. I will put the 05 micron back and get the 03. And I'm going to connect some of these lines that were, like, part of it was drawn with the graphic and part of it was drawn with the 05, and I'm going to use the 03 to connect them and make it a smooth transition from big to small. And I like to use the 03 rather than the 05 for this so that I'm not accidentally making it way too big, and then I have to redraw the whole line so that it's all the same, and then I have to redraw all the lines because they're all not looking the right size. So if you use a smaller one, it's for filling in the gaps rather than creating the line in the first place. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the best I can do to explain it. I'm also thickening up these lines on the legs to show that they are in front, a significant distance in front of the back part of the body, not like right up like it's totally flat. So trying to show using a thickness of line that there's a little space in between there. And I don't always think to do this, but this time I'm going to thicken the lines along the top of the eyes, to help show that the light is coming down, like even if it's from this side or whatever, that, you know, in general, light comes from above, and so just making it slightly thicker, not actually showing a shadow or anything, but just making it the slightest bit thicker helps sort of reinforce that idea. And I've also got, this line is ended up really thick for some reason, so I'm just going to do the same thing on this opposite eye to help make it look even. I'm looking around for anywhere else that needs that little bit of connection or a slight amount of adjustment, but I think that that's actually pretty good. I'm not really seeing any major areas that need further inking. I'm just softening up this bottom tip of the pupils just a tiny bit. Well, nice. We still have 15 minutes, and I feel satisfied with the ink, so may as well get a little head start on the markers. Let me move all this stuff out of the way. Oh, nice. Satoitsu says it's really popping out on my phone screen. Oh, that makes me think I should show the final. Here's the final inking before we do markers. Yay! It's very simple pose, so nice and easy. Thank you, camera, for refocusing. I wasn't doing it earlier. That's funny. Satsuki says, my cat growled at the door today. When the apartment managers left a note at the door, he sounded like a little dog. I can imagine it. Well, you've got yourself a little guard cat now. Or at least a sentinel. Even if he can't guard, he can alert you to presences. Oh, thank you. Yeah, super smooth ink. This is Satuita. I love these pens. For a while I was thinking of abandoning them because I was liking brush pens so much. But in the end I was like, nah, there's things that these Sakura Microns can do that no other pen can do. And they're just so reliable, and yeah, they're just my staple inking pen. Okay, so I'm going to start with the lightest colors first. The lighting in the reference photo is fairly blue. So maybe I'll even use, if I have a super light blue, I might use that. Nah, I'll just use a cool gray, I think. Because cool gray is a blue tint. Yeah. So I will use cool gray to start. Let's see how far we get in 10 to 13 minutes. Just add the shadows onto the white fur areas. That'll be step 1. So should I start with 0 or should I start with 1? I'll start with 1. So I'll get... but do I want cool gray for the black? I don't think I do. So when I'm looking at her black fur, this is what I'm trying to decide. Should I just get out 2 or 3 cool grays, or should I do what I usually do, which is get all the way out up to 10, 9 or 10? But I think I won't, because 10 would be what I'd use for her black patches of fur. And even though the lighting is cool in the photo, the black patches of fur don't seem that cool. They seem neutral, if anything. So I'll just get a few. I'll get C1, 3, and 5. Aww. Satoita says he's a scaredy cat, but he also wants to keep his sanctuary. Oh, when Alex stopped by, that's our brother. Just for anybody watching later who's like, who's Alex? Alex stopped by. Tiger hid away into a tiny ball under the bed. Aw, poor kitty, so scared. Well, you know, give him like 7 years, like we gave Kiki, and he will be the most friendliest cat. You won't even know him anymore, because that's what happened with Kiki. She used to be like that too, where if somebody came who, even if she had met them before, but they weren't like a regular visitor, she would go run away. Especially if it was like somebody new, she would run away. But now, somebody comes, even if they're new, she'll go up to them if she's in the mood, or like if she's taking a nap, she doesn't care. But if she's out and about, then she'll just be like, meow, meow, like, give me attention. Like, she doesn't even care anymore. Which I'm glad for, because I don't want my pets to be scared anytime I have a visitor. I mean, it's understandable because they don't know. Pets don't have calendars. They don't have schedules. They don't have appointments. Not that they made. Alright, it looks like most of her belly fur, at least what's visible in the reference picture, is white. And it's also a little white visible on both legs. Both back legs. And then it's definitely white. She's got the white mittens. On her paws. Okay. Aww, Yeah, he probably is. He's healing from trauma at this shelter. Yep, just being... I mean, I can't speak from any sort of experience, but I've always heard that it's tough to be a foster kid. And that's exactly what the animals are going through. Only they don't even understand what is happening because they don't understand what foster system is or pet shelter is. So I totally understand when they're scared. But it seems in my experience, as long as they get a stable home to live in, they'll eventually gain their confidence and just become a completely different personality. Okay, I think I got the base for all of the white patches. Let's add a little bit more shadow with the C3, so that's 2 steps above the C1. Or down if you imagine darker going down, but either way. I call it above because 3 is higher than 1 as far as a number, meaning the total amount. So that's why I think of it as going higher. Whoops. Marker got caught on my paper. One of my favorite parts on a cat is the little shadow cast by the top part of the mouth onto the bottom jaw. And this is this tiny little shadow right here. I think it's so cute, and it's such a small little part. But every time I get to draw it, I'm like, oh, it's such a satisfying little detail to add. It's especially this side of the body is almost completely in shadow, so this definitely needs to be really dark. And then on the opposite side, it's the opposite thing happening. There's hardly any shadow apparent over here, so I'm not even going to put any of this C3 on this side. Yeah. Makes sense. I should say trauma of the shelter. He was there for almost a year, had a bad experience at home during that time, and was brought back. Yeah, so confusing. All the poor kitties. That's why, even when it gets tough with a new pet, like, I have the responsibility for you now, and so I am going to do what I can to learn and grow with you, because we're in this together, and we'll figure this out together, instead of what happened in our childhood was like, if a pet wasn't good enough, then it would be brought back to the shelter. And now that I'm the adult and I get to make the decisions, I will not do that. I will not do that. I will take responsibility and do everything I can to make them feel safe. And a lot of times I've found that it's just a matter of they need more time to get used to a new home. It's not just like a couple weeks and then they'll be perfect. Like, because it's the same thing for people. Like, whenever I move to a new place, it's years before I feel like, oh, this is my house. Like, when I moved into this house, it was at least a year before I felt like, oh, this is my house now. Like, it still sort of didn't quite feel like legally it was my house, okay, but it's not the same as feeling completely comfortable and feeling in charge of your space and, yeah, having a confidence in it. Well, I think that that's good for the gray. We've got 4 minutes, so I kind of want to squeeze as much as I can in, but I'm not sure what color I can do next that won't just be either rushing it, and I don't want to make any marks that I will regret. So maybe we can call it a day a few minutes early. I think it's coming along nicely already though. Here, I'll do a nice super close up. Ah, thank you, camera. My camera focused on its own. I'm so proud of you, camera. So here's the inked lines with 3 layers of cool gray marker applied. And it looks kind of haphazard because she's a calico cat, so she's got black and tan patches. So we'll do that next, plus her eyes are a really light jade green color, just like Kiki's eyes. So we'll call it good there. Yay! Another successful Chibi Friday. Well, I mean, I don't think there's ever not been a successful Chibi Friday, but... Oh yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do a couple minutes and only half do a color. Like this light gray color, I'm completely done. We're done with these. So, yeah. Oh, for anybody watching the recording, Satuita said, will be a good place to pick up next time. Yes. Yay! Okay. Well, I will call it good there. Next week, I will be back on Monday with Inktober 52, and there should be no reason to reschedule this week. So, hopefully see you then. But either way, hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for watching.